the Big Three for Fantasy Alarm TV. I'm your host, Ray Flowers, as we continue our discussion about quarterbacks. First number today is 6, as in the number of rushing touchdowns last season for Russell Wilson. Great number. He was spectacular on the ground last season, really saved his fantasy effort. But it should be pointed out the first 2 years, Russell Wilson scored 5 times. More rushing touchdowns last year than the first 2 seasons combined. And the fact is, quarterbacks don't run for 800 yards. They don't run for 6 touchdowns frequently. They certainly don't do it back-to-back, at least if you look at history. That just doesn't happen. So Russell Wilson's going to have to pick things up with his arm if he's going to improve his fantasy outlook, or at least maintain it. And I don't know if he can. The guy has never thrown for 3,500 yards in a season. Yeah, Jimmy Graham, and that's huge. But let's also realize the fact that, the last couple of seasons here, the 3 years he's been in the NFL, he's averaged 24 touchdown passes as well. So we don't get a lot of volume. They don't throw the ball a lot. We don't get a lot of touchdowns. They don't throw the ball a lot. We don't get a lot of yards. They don't throw it a lot. The addition of Graham helps. I don't think it dynamically changes the way this offense operates. Very tough for me to look at Wilson as an elite level quarterback in fantasy football. I don't even know if I'd have him in my top 10, to be quite honest with you. I know many in the top 5. I think it's very tough to look at that if we look in 2015 and try to predict what's going to happen. Second number today is 210.6, as in the passing yard average last season per game of Colin Kaepernick. That's not very good. It's just, he 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions the last 2 years. In this day and age, it's not that good either, And the fact is that he's athletic, he's dynamic, he can throw the ball pretty much as hard as anyone, but he lacks touch, Kaepernick. He doesn't know how to go through his reads and his progressions. He kind of locks onto a guy, and if that doesn't work, the play breaks down, he runs around. The Niners look like a dumpster fire. Everyone on their team apparently retired in the offseason. The team did bring in Torrey Smith to help stretch the field if Kaepernick can find him. They've got Anquan Bolden, who's always stable. And they have to hope that Vernon Davis comes back. Vernon Davis was solid in Week 1 last year and then he totally disappeared. I know, Vernon Davis. I know he's not good anymore. Sorry, my producer was talking to me. Lots of problems with the Niners. Colin Kaepernick, QB2, hope for better. Don't know if you should expect it. Final number today is 2.25, as in the touchdown-interception ratio last season of Ryan Tannehill. 27 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Good numbers. More than 4,000 yards passing. Nice. 66% completion percentage. Really nice. 93% QB rating. Really good. What's the problem with Tannehill? He can't complete a pass over 20 yards. Can't do it. Now, he's supposedly throwing the ball better on the deep ball. I don't know how he could throw it any worse. But I don't have much hope for him being able to stretch that field. You hear a lot of hype about Tannehill because the team did some things out wide. They brought in Stills and Jennings. They drafted Devontae Parker, who's got the foot issue. They brought in Jordan Cameron at the tight end position. The Dolphins gave weapons to Tannehill. Can he take advantage of that? We shall see. Be careful you don't get swept up in the hype. Tannehill has a very good chance to be a little bit better than he was last year, but taking that next step to stardom with his inability to stretch the field, a little bit dubious in this analyst's mind. My name is Ray Flowers. You've been listening to Fantasy Alarm TV, the Big Three. Talk to y'all again soon.